Lesson 29, working with ratios. So you can see in this picture, I am comparing girls to boys. We could say that was in a classroom. So if there's 5 girls and 15 boys, this would have a ratio of 1 girl to every 3 boys. So what does that mean? A ratio is just a comparison of 2 numbers by division, and ratios can be written in 4 different ways. And you can see them written here. You can write them with the word 2, so 3 to 4, or as a fraction, 3/4, so 3 to 4 there. As a decimal, 3/4 is 0.75, or with a colon, 3:4. So you can write them in any method. They tell you to write a certain way, then use that method. So let's look at an example. There are 9 girls and 15 boys in the class. What is the ratio of boys to girls in the class? So I need to make sure I have boys written first, then girls. So if I were to write this as with the ratio with the word 2, I would say 15 to 9, because it's 15 boys to 9 girls. If I were to write it as a fraction, it would be 15 over 9. Or if I write it as a colon, it would be 15:9. But I can reduce that, and you always want to reduce your ratios. So this is actually, I can divide 15 divided by 3 is 5. 9 divided by 3 is 3, so it's really 5 to 3. Or this would be 5/3, or this is 5:3. And then if you were to do it as a decimal, you would just do 5 divided by 3, which would be 1.6 repeating. That would be also another way to write the ratio. The next one. A 30-foot tall tree cast a shadow 18 feet long. What was the ratio of the height of the tree to the length of its shadow? So I need to have height first of the tree, so the height of the tree first, and then the length of its shadow second. So let's write this one as a fraction. So the height of the tree is 30 feet, and the length of its shadow is 18 feet. I can divide this by 3/3, and that would give me 10/6. Actually, let's to make it easier, let's divide this by 6/6. So that would be the greatest factor I can divide out. 30 divided by 6 is 5 feet. 18 divided by 6 would give you 3 feet. So you'd have a ratio of 5 feet to 3 feet. Next example, in a bag are 14 marbles. 6 marbles are red and 8 are blue. What is the ratio of red marbles to blue marbles? Here we're going to write this with a colon. So let's write red marbles. Red marbles, there are 6 red, and there are 8 blue. But I can reduce this. So if I divide all this by 2's, that would give me 3 to 4. So that would be my ratio. What is the ratio of blue marbles to red marbles? I would just have to flip the ratio around, so it would be 4 to 3. A 20-foot flagpole casts a shadow 24 feet long. What is the ratio of the height of the flagpole to the length of the shadow? So the height of the flagpole is 20 feet, and the length of the shadow is 24. Now let's divide each of them by 4, and you would have an answer of 20 divided by 4 is 5. 24 divided by 4 is 6, so it would be 5 to 6 would be our ratio. And what is the ratio of the length of the shadow to the height of the flagpole? So now you're just flipping them. So instead of 5 to 6, it would be 6 to 5. Other examples. At the high school football game, 1,217 fans sat on the home team side and 896 fans sat on the visiting team side. What was the approximate ratio of home team fans to the visiting team fans? Since they're dealing with the approximate, we would want to round their numbers to rounder numbers. So 1,217, a nice round number, would be about 1,200. So we're doing the ratio of the home team to the visiting team. So the home team had about 1,200, and then the visiting team 896. That's roughly 900. And then if we reduce these, we can reduce each of these by 300. So 1,200 divided by 300 would be 4. And then 900 divided by 300 would be 3. So you would have a ratio of 4 to 3. If 479 stocks advanced in price and 326 declined in price, then what was the approximate ratio of advancers to decliners? So advancers, there was 479, which is roughly 500, and those declined was 326, which is roughly 300. I can simplify that. These zeros can cancel out. So we would say it's roughly 5 to 3 for advancers to decliners. And our last question here. Rosa kept a record of the number of pages and number of minutes she read each night. Find Rosa's approximate reading rate for the book in pages per minute. And then we'll find Rosa's approximate reading rate in minutes per page. So we'll look at day 1. So day 1, for Monday, the rate for pages per minute. So pages, 15 per minute is 30. So if we were to simplify this, I can divide this by 15, divide this by 15, and you get a ratio of 1 to 2. Or if you write as a fraction, it would be 1 over 2. Now find Rosa's approximate reading rate in minutes per page. So minutes per page, I just flip my ratio that I had before. So it would be 2 pages to 1 minute. And now since these are approximate, because 15 is half of 30, but 11 is not half of 20, 14 is not half of 30, 20 is half of 40, 27 is a little more than a half to 50. So these are approximate. So if you were to find the average, it's roughly half, 1 page for every 2 minutes. So that is our lesson on ratios. Hopefully that gives you a good review of using ratios in the future.